Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to add hair. So I'm just going to start with this icosphere that I have set to 6 subdivisions. I'm going to select it and tab into edit mode, and I'm going to click off of it so nothing is selected. And then I'm going to go up into wireframe mode. Now if this were a head model, I'd want to make sure I hit 3 on the numpad to make sure I'm looking at this from the side. Then I'm going to hit C to be able to start painting, and if I scroll with my mouse wheel I can increase and decrease the size. So what I want to do is basically paint the area that would be my hair. And so obviously if you had a real model that you are working with, it's going to be easy to tell where your hairline is. You want to make sure I'll imagine like there's an ear right here. Okay, so something like that, and then I'll just hit escape to get out of that select. Now the reason why I had it in mesh mode was so that as I painted one side, it did the other side identical. Now if you don't want both sides identical, you could go back and change that now after switching back to the solid mode. But with those still selected, I am going to hit Shift D to duplicate that, and then just click to let go. And then I'm going to hit P to separate this from the previous, and so I'm going to do separate selection. We've used P to parent things. We can also do the exact opposite with P. Then I'm going to go back into object mode with just our new hair selected. Might want to come up here, rename it just so that it is easier to tell which one is which. So with that selected, I'm going to hit S to scale. I'm just going to scale that down a little bit, and I'll make sure it looks like it's inside entirely. Okay, it is. So our hair is now inside. The reason we want it inside is because then the hair is going to come up out of that object and then through the scalp. Okay, so with that selected, I am now going to go over to my particle system. So my particle system is right below the modifiers. Make sure that the hair is selected, add a new particle system, change it to hair. And if I view this from the front, there we go, I've got hair. Now, it always looks kind of crazy right now. My hair is currently 4 meters in length because my head was the default sphere, which was 2 meters. So my hair is really tall, but I can adjust that. So I can click and drag, take it down to a height that is maybe a little bit more reasonable. And then a couple other things I can do. I can go down to the children, so I'm still under the particle system, and I'm going to change that to interpolated. And that makes it significantly thicker. So now I can go back up to the emissions, and I could probably drop that down to something like maybe 200, 300, whatever looks reasonable to you for your model. A couple other things that you might want to change. We can go into the path and change the B-spline. We can actually check that so it's using the B-spline. Maybe increase that to 4 steps. We could go back to the children and increase the number of seeds, decrease. So you can play around with that to get the thickness you want. Then, once we have that set up the way we want it, I can make sure my hair is selected and go up here and go down to particle edit. And by default, my comb is going to be selected. I can use my comb and I can start combing the hair. Now, if it starts pushing it way down into the scalp because we have our hair object inside the scalp, I can adjust this distance. So let me hit Control Z a couple times to undo that combing. And I could increase this to say maybe 1 meter and have a little control over that. So I can start positioning the hair the way that I want it. If you hit F, you can change the size of the brush just like we do with everything else. I can make it really small to have Less control, do a little bit more fine tuning, make it really big to control more of the hair. We have some other brushes over here. This one will smooth it out. If I need to add more hair, there we go. Can add more hair. If I want to adjust the length of the hair, okay, this one will adjust the length. If I want to give them a haircut, there we go, I can cut the hair, etc. So that is your particle system and hair. Basically just get the way that you want. Then if we go into render view and back to object mode, we get a better idea of what the hair is going to look like because it shows all the strands. When we are in particle edit, it's showing obviously fewer strands, making it faster and easier to work with. And then let me show you one last thing. If I want to give hair color, let me go into the shading and make sure that my hair is selected. I'll add a new material, and let's say I want to give it red hair. There we go. Now I have red hair. So we add hair color the same way that we add material color to anything else.